Good morning, everybody. Hope you all have had an absolutely wonderful day so far. Welcome to the show. This is James Goss. This is the Internet Morning Entrepreneur. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time on here, most likely it is because there's only ever been one person on here ever. But doesn't matter. So today, basically, yesterday, Monday, unfortunately, we missed the live stream, and that's because we were getting prepped for this carnival. It became really, really hectic. It ended up being a good time. So far, so we did one day, and we did okay. I'm I need to perfect my carnival method because basically, there's so many. I don't know. There's just like nuances to learn basically with like setting up stuff like this, and so it's really easy. Like I don't know. I mean, it was crazy. I really expected that we were going to be absolutely killing it. Um, the two stands we were set up next to. I mean, they had lines like one of my friends, like long time friends from way back in the day. They came from Florida, and of course, they got family in the area. They didn't come specifically for this carnival, but they happened to come by and see me at the carnival, and they got a funnel cake and some fried Oreos, and she was standing in line. Oh, sorry, I'm still tired from yesterday. Ugh. Anyway, she was standing in line for 25 minutes. So, and that was a guy that was set up next to me. So it was pretty crazy that, like, literally, it's a 25-minute line, like, huge line. And, I'm sitting there popping away, and I never really got a line. I think the most customers I ever had standing there, of course, I was rocking through them, but the most customers I ever had standing there was probably like two. Um, so anyway, I mean, still a decent day. Like, definitely worth going out there. We made like 400, a little over $400. So I mean, not like a record-breaking day, but pretty decent day. And it was only Monday, so I mean, if we continue like that, it'll end up being a decent week. And I have a feeling that as the week progresses, we'll be able to sell more and more. Um, so anyway, overall, it was a good time, and I was able to talk to one of the guys set up next to me. This guy, he lives a crazy life. He's not associated with the carnival directly, so he doesn't travel around with the same carnival. He just has a food truck. It's actually an ice cream truck. He's got this ice cream truck, which I wish I had a photo of this thing. It's not like your typical, like, you know, motorhome style ice cream truck or whatever you want to motorhome style, meaning like it has its own engine. It's like a trailer. It looks like, it is made for carnivals. It has that serious carnival look, with all the lights flashing and, blah, blah, blah. So it's not like your typical, like, driving down the street, with the music on ice cream truck. He is definitely a carnival vendor. And so I talked to him yesterday. And it's funny because, when I first talked to the guy, I met him, um, he didn't really, he seemed like a little standoffish maybe. Kind of hard to explain, but definitely didn't seem like he was that friendly. Um, and then I went over there at some point. I had to get a root beer float, and so I went over there and mentioned that it was my first event, and then he was super super friendly, very warm, very nice, and he started telling me about what he does, and it was crazy. He spends 3 4 months in Florida doing events, comes down this way to the East Coast, spends like 5 months down here doing events. He was telling me to get into the next Mount Airy Carnival because I have another one coming up in July. And so, he was just really nice. So I'm actually going to ask him at some point if he would be willing to come on the show because I think that would be really, really awesome. Um, just to get the perspective of a totally different type of entrepreneur. He said it was a family business. He's been doing this for a long time. Um, but it's just kind of crazy to me that he travels around, he said he lives in Charleston, South Carolina. Um, but yeah, he definitely doesn't live there very often because he's always traveling. So anyway, so hopefully I can maybe get him on, and I think that would be cool to share with you guys. Um, a couple other good things that came out of the carnival yesterday. Um, I talked to the president of the Lions Club, so it's the 4 County Lions Club that is putting on the whole event. And so the president came up, and I said, "Hey, I'm interested in joining the Lions Club." And he was like, "Oh, that would be great. Like, I'm glad they gave you an application. That'd be great if you'd be interested in joining. We got, we're the biggest and we're the youngest, so, it would be a really good club to be a part of." And so I probably will go ahead and join that. And then the other thing that the other thing that he said was that he's also the president of the Mount Airy Chamber of Commerce. He said, "Hey, definitely come to that. It's $75 a year. It's totally worth it." And I've been, people have been telling me, "Oh, become a part of the Chamber of Commerce," for years, like since I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Um, and really, the main one that's been saying that to me is my mom. She's been saying, "Oh, you need to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce." I'm like, for a while I didn't even know what that is. I'm like, it sounds spooky. I don't want to be in any chambers with anybody. But I, of course, I looked it up after that, and basically, the Chamber of Commerce is like, local business owners, and kind of supporting each other and working together on things. So I do definitely want to do that because networking is, super key, especially as I try to, grow this show and, bring a different variety of entrepreneur, and maybe I can get people to, talk to me for an hour about what they do, and maybe actually make this an entertaining show instead of me rambling. That would be unbelievable. Um, so, but yeah, so overall, I mean, I'm definitely happy. It's totally worth the time, totally worth going out there, and by the end of the week, we'll have had a pretty good week, I would say. And we'll definitely make the money back that we spent getting into the carnival. Um, but I don't know if we're gonna make, like what I was really hoping to make, like a killing. But this is my first event, and I'm gonna keep reaching out to events like this because I see the line that those other guys had, and I guarantee it's only a matter of time. Number one, it's the beginning of summer. This is not kettle corn season. Kettle corn season is definitely in the fall, and so if I can, keep finding events like this, it'll be totally worth it. And still, there's no question I'm still gonna make way more. And this is always my, this isn't a slight on anybody, but this is, kind of my gauge of whether I'm, being successful and doing what I set out to do. And, I'm going to make way more than I would have in a week of my manual labor job. And I've been doing that consistently. So that to me right now, even though I'm definitely trying to grow, I'm trying to get bigger, I'm trying to get better and, do better. I'm still achieving my goal of earning more than I was when I was working my 9 to 5. So that's the most important thing to me right now, is to be able to make sure that, my bills are paid, and, I can be an entrepreneur, but I can, I'm being responsible at least, and able to keep up with everything. So that's the biggest thing, and that's what I've been able to accomplish in the fair. Certainly the carnival is definitely going to help. But yeah, so definitely be good. A couple other things. I put I kind of rushed. I wish that I had a better QR code video. I've been doing the QR code on the bags, and I've been giving them out when I'm selling on the roadside. And it looks like that video, I looked at that this morning, that had like 45 views or something like that. The QR code from the bags at the carnival had no views at all, and I clicked it this morning, so now it has 1 view, but that is a private video. It's not like, you can't go to my channel and see that QR code video, and maybe I'll share it on the show if if anybody ever wants to see it. I'm happy to show you guys, but I wish that I had done that better, but I just didn't. I didn't manage my time properly and get that video done. So I had shot one that I didn't love, and I wanted to get do better and get into better detail. But I did shoot one there on the side of the road, and it was like a minute and a half long, and it was just like, "Thank you, Mount Airy Carnival. If you're at the Mount Airy Carnival, then you probably live in Mount Airy. So do I. I'm set up here every weekend that I don't have an event going on, and you can come buy popcorn from me right here." At my house, but yeah, nobody watched that last night, which means probably nobody is going to, at least from yesterday. But that's fine. I need to, I need to be better at telling you, especially because I really thought I was gonna be a little more slammed and like stressed out and worried, like, oh man, I got to get these bags popped. But I definitely had some downtime. It's not like I was, you know, trying to rip through bags and run through a big line. So I think I need to get better with telling these customers, like, hey, I'm set up right on Route 26. Every weekend I don't have an event and I got a self-serve stand you can see on the QR code. Maybe just encourage people to look at that QR code. And then also on the QR code, I, talk about this show. And so, yeah, I'm hoping that that will slowly but surely pick up. Um, the other thing that I was really happy that I was able to accomplish was getting my AM show done. Unfortunately, I really wanted to have a guest for the AM show. I never did figure that out. I never got a guest. Like I said in some earlier episodes, I really thought that was going to be a lot easier than it has become, to interview entrepreneurs. But anyway, it doesn't matter because definitely, it'll be a snowball effect once I get a couple, it'll start to roll. So just getting that first couple is probably going to be the key. And, I think part of it is me because I'm certainly not embarrassed of the show or anything like that. But I do like, I can't have perfection without putting the legwork in and getting the guests and all that type of stuff. But like, sometimes I'm like, I feel kind of silly telling people to, come on here. Oh, let me interview you for an hour or whatever. It's like, I almost feel like I'm wasting people's time because nobody watches. But nobody's ever going to watch if I don't have better content. So, it's one of those things where I just got to put myself out there. And again, I really do think it'll be a snowball type of deal. Like, if I can get one with 100 views, the next one will have 120, 150, 200. And I think it'll grow from there because I do think there's an audience for like the entrepreneurial type of content. And that's what I love, and that's what I love to talk about. So I do really think that'll go well. So yeah, I did get that AM radio show, and then on that show, I did talk a lot about this show, and I encourage people to jump on here, and if they had any questions or want to talk about anything, I said that I plugged that I was at the carnival, and the two things I talked about were being thankful, and I talked about anxiety because I had a great conversation with a good friend this weekend or last weekend, that she had a business in mind that she wanted to start, and yeah, she had everything ready. She had a licensed kitchen. She wanted to do food. She had a licensed commercial kitchen. Everything she needed to do. She's further ahead than I am, as far as a commercial kitchen goes. And she just said her anxiety was getting the best of her, and hold on. Sorry guys, I tried to mute that. All right, much better. But yeah, so anyway, so I on the AM show I did push that this show's happening. I talked about the events that I got coming up. I got um, another 2 events coming up next weekend. So basically, Friday's going to be the only day that I'm out in the driveway next week, and hopefully I can do some interviewing. That would be really nice. There's another vendor there, and he had kind of a cool story as well. He's on his come up. He used to be a flooring guy, and he was working in manual labor, and he ended up getting hurt. And he started his own, he's selling like sunglasses and, just like custom branded gear. So it was nice talking to him, and he seemed like he would be totally willing to jump on as well. So I just, I want to get the perspective of other entrepreneurs, and, this guy's doing the same grind as I am. I don't think he's killing it by any means, but I still think it's awesome to talk to these other entrepreneurs who are in the thick of things, trying to make it work. And, so I think that's, really the key. And what we may end up doing for these shows, even though I do want to do the lifestyle show where I come on here and we can really talk, you know, also I probably will have to do some pre-recorded content and put it up, in the mornings. And because I think it's a big ask to be like, hey, will you wake up at 6:45 or probably more like 6:30 and talk to me on here? So depending on the entrepreneur, but you know, who knows? We'll see. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, we're still growing. I'm gonna join the Lions Club. I'm gonna join the Chamber of Commerce for Mount Airy. So I made some great connections there. I met a couple other people who were, definitely really nice, and seems like I can probably work with them in some fashion. So as far as from a networking perspective, the carnival's already been awesome, and I'm really, really glad that I did it. It's like, I'm getting myself out there in the community, and I nearly guarantee you that after this week of the carnival, I'll guarantee you that my stand that I set up on the roadside, people are going to be stopping by like, hey, are you the guy from the carnival? I guarantee it, because, there was a ton of people there, a ton of people. And that was only Monday. So, as I go and I keep doing these local events around here, people are going to start remembering, oh, yeah, he's the kettle corn guy. And, so I think it should go really well eventually. But, it's all this learning, it's this growing process, and I'm loving it. It's definitely fun. And that as far as the real estate license goes, I'm working on that. I'm gonna have to leave this morning. I got a somewhat small order. It's like 75 small bags, and this is for my brother's wife. She's a principal, and she wanted to do like a teacher's appreciation thing at the end of the year. So I popped her 75 bags, and then of course her and my brother came over the weekend, and I totally forgot to give them the bags. So I repopped those yesterday, and I'll be hitting the road up to see him. He lives about an hour and a half away, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out this morning, and that's basically what we got going on today. I think I have enough materials and ingredients to go back today, have no problem, so I'm not too stressed about getting all that done. I got enough pre-popped bags from yesterday that I shouldn't have to get there like super, super early. I'll just have to get there in enough time to set my stand up. And, overall, it should be really good, and I'm loving where this is going. But yeah, so if anyone ever watches this, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and hope you go off and do your own thing, and I hope you become successful and grind it out. And if you happen to come across this, tune in the next episode, coming on every morning around 6:45. We're going till we got nothing else to talk about, And I think we're about at that time where I don't have too much else to say this morning. I'm going to get my day going. I'm going to start grinding. And first things first, I'm going to drive up to Virginia. I'm going to get those bags delivered. Um, Next week, we're going to have, Carnival is really the focus this week. It's gonna be, it's going to be a lot going on there. Next week, we're going to be getting into some other stuff. I'm probably going to go for the real estate license again. And couple other things in the making. Of course, I have the contracting company that I got all the licensing for, and blah blah blah. I'm just missing one thing that I gotta send, and it's taken me like a month to do that. And so anyway, so I got to get on that. So bunch of new stuff coming up next week. Plus, we're moving the studio, aka where I sit in this chair with this microphone. But whatever, we're moving that downstairs, and I'm going to be doing some additional content like we're going to be doing cooking videos and that type of stuff because I really do love that type of stuff. So we're going to do that. Hopefully, get a little more views. And that's basically going to be next week. But yeah, so that's basically the morning. And of course, tune in tomorrow. This has been James Goss, Internet Morning Entrepreneur. And thank you all so much. You guys have an absolutely wonderful day.